For our Tuesday page, we have to pick the best transition to fill in the blank. Who can tell me for these two sentences? We have honeybees live in hives that often hang from trees. Blank, their most common habitat is in man-made hives. We have A, for example, B, in order to, C, however, or D, another. Kylie, what do you think? It says that you were trying to join, baby. Let's see. Try reloading the page on your computer and see if that helps. Okay. Who can tell me what answer choice do you think is the correct one? Violet, what do you think?
Sam.
Okay, let's see. Honeybees live in hives that often hang from trees. For example, their most common habitat is in man-made hives. I think you've got a good answer choice there. But one thing I want you to notice is look at what the first sentence says. This is a good example of where bees normally live, but look at that first sentence. Honeybees live in hives that often hang from trees. Man-made hives don't always hang on trees. So even though this might be a good example of where they live, I don't think it's a good transition to go from the first sentence to the second sentence. Ezekiel, what do you think? However, let's try it. Honeybees live in hives that often hang from trees. However, their most common habitat is in man-made hives. That one I think works better because we're showing an opposite. Normally, bees live in hives that hang off the trees, but the place where they most commonly live is in hives that people make. So they'll make the big boxes and they'll have the bees in there. I think answer choice C works better for transitioning between these two sentences. Okay, let me move my circles over. Circle the correct relative pronoun. So we have some of these sentences. We need to pick which word belongs in these sentences. It's the red car, blank needs to be repaired. It's the blank car, it's the red car that blank needs to be, it's the red car blank needs to be repaired. Noah, what do you think? That. All right. What about the next sentence? This is one of the houses blank my dad painted. Jadine?
Which?
Okay, this is one of the houses which my dad painted. Who we use for people. And your dad's not going around painting people, he's painting houses. Sally is the girl to blank I owe the money. Sally is the girl to blank I owe the money. Alexa, what do you think? In this one, we would use whom. Whom and who are something that can be kind of confusing to tell which one to use. What you can do is, if you kind of think about it like a question, what you can do is think of the words him and her and he and she. Okay? If in this case we're talking about owing the money, who do you owe the money to? If you would say him or her, in this case Sally, so we'd say her, we use whom. If you could say he or she, then you would use who. So look, if you said this one, let's say like if you're asking about painting, right? You might say who painted because you could point at your dad and say he did. But you wouldn't say him did or her did. You would say he or she. Josiah is the boy, blank pencil is broken. Chase, what do you think? Whose? Because the pencil belongs to him. Give me just a second, sorry. What about our sentence? We listened to my only uncle's story about cowboys and rodeos. What is a mistake that you can find here? And do me a favor right now, everyone, just because not everyone's camera is showing up, if you have a mistake or you find a mistake, go ahead and type it in the chat for me, please. Just say me, so that way I know that you're raising your hand, because I might not be able to see you. Jaylene.
Story is spelled wrong.
Okay. How should I fix stories? Very good. Stories is spelled wrong. It should be IES at the end. All right. What about something else? Is there another mistake? Because I know it's not just that. Alexa. If I put a comma next to my conjunction, remember, that means I'm trying to combine two complete sentences. If I look after the word and, is rodeos a complete sentence? No, so I don't want to put a comma there. Jada. What's another one, Jada? Capitalize the W in we. It's the very beginning of the sentence. Jadine? Do you have another one?
Yes. Period at the end of the sentence.
Okay, need a period at the end of the sentence. Not bad. There are still two more mistakes. One of them is about punctuation. One of them is about spelling. Kylie. Okay. How should I fix it? Very good. I don't need that second E. Otherwise, that's rodeo-ease. All right. I've got one last mistake. It's a punctuation mistake. A little mark that's missing somewhere. Jadine? Nope. I don't need a comma there. It's not a comma. That's not what's missing. It looks like a comma, kind of. But it's not a comma that's missing. It's something else. Kylie.
I mean, not
It is a punctuation mark. You're right. It's got a different name, but I will tell you it doesn't go in the word cowboys. Jaylene?
you know what?
Okay, what is it? It is an apostrophe. Where does it go?
Um,
So Jaylene's told us it's an apostrophe. We're just trying to figure out where it goes now. Ezekiel, you think you know? Very good. The apostrophe goes in uncles because who do the stories belong to? Who's telling them? The uncle is. So I need to put the apostrophe there. So if I have my sentence correct, it should be capital. We listened to my only uncle's story. And then Feeling told us it's not spelled with the Y, it's IES. Are my only uncle's stories about cowboys and rodeos. And like Kylie said, we don't spell rodeos with that second D. It's not rodeos, it's just rodeos with a period at the end. Okay. Our next box. We have to choose the correct sentence. We watched a sad, long movie, or we watched a long, sad movie. Who thinks they know what answer choice is correct? Alexa, what do you think? Okay, answer choice A. We watched a sad, long movie. In this case, it would actually be B. We watched a long, sad. You talk about the length of it first or the size of it first before you talk about the emotion. 2. Mom used a metal huge old bowl, or mom used a huge old metal bowl. So this one's kind of tricky. It's got 3. Christopher, what do you think? Is it A or is it B? What would you say, Christopher? B. Very good. Mom used a huge old metal bowl. We talk about the size, about the age, and then about the material. Okay, last part of Tuesday. What is the best way to combine these sentences? At first, Logan was afraid of bees. Then he learned how useful they are in the environment. We have 2 answer choices. At first, Logan was afraid of bees, but then he learned how useful they are in the environment. Or, at first, Logan was afraid of bees, then he learned how useful they are in the environment. Who can tell me which answer choice do you think is the better answer choice? What's the better way to combine these? Jadine, would you say A or B?
B.
Okay, why do you say B? Well, see, that's the thing we have to be careful about, especially with writing. We can't just kind of say, like, oh, this one looks better. There's got to be something. What's the difference? What's different between A and B? Because they're not exactly the same.
Different.
Oh, okay. So that might be why it's kind of okay. All right. So do we need the word but in there or no? Okay, why not? What do you notice right next to where they put the word but? Okay, so what do you see right before that word? A comma. What does it mean when we have a comma with one of our fanboy words? Because but is a fanboy word. We're trying to make one complete sentence. And if we take a look at these, Let's see if we have two sentences to put together. I believe that at first Logan was afraid of bees. Okay, that's a complete sentence. Everything's there. I believe that then he learned how useful they are in the environment. Yeah. So if I've got two complete sentences, I need a comma and a conjunction. And answer choice B forgot the conjunction. They tried to use then, but then is not one of our fanboy words, but is. So I actually should pick answer choice A. Yeah, especially with the writing, we have to be really careful. And when they give us sentences, especially if we go, man, these two look all like the same, look really carefully. Look for any little difference, because little differences can make a big mistake or keep it from being keep it from being without mistakes. Okay.